It's time. Speaking of hair, it's time for us to head to Woodwall, place where there is a distinct lack of hair because everybody's too busy chopping through. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the deciding match between RecoN and Magic. RecoN spawning in on the southwest side of the map as the Mongols in the color blue. Magic on the north side in the color red as the Chinese. Lidakor, who do you tip to win this game?
This is a tough one, especially because we don't have the scoreboard on the screen right now. So those of you that you're watching on YouTube don't actually know that this is a decider game between the two. But honestly, if I would have to make a guess, I would actually go for the Mongols of RecoN. It's a little weird of an approach, but I feel like this is definitely one of those settings where the Kurotai could have an amplified importance. This is the brand new Kurotai that has just been buffed, and you could easily see fights being concentrated towards the middle. Plus, of course, Mongols don't really care about the lack of stone fortifications. In fact, they're more than happy playing in settings like that.
I guess my question is, do we even see a Kurotai coming out today? I mean, RecoN loves his trade, don't get me wrong. It just feels... How likely are we going to see trade coming towards the center of the map like this? Is something like that even viable?
I have my doubts about that. Then again, you're up against the Chinese, especially if Magic plays a very eco-focused game and forfeits map control. You could actually justify playing Silver Tree and trying to get some trade going. So I think the option is there. The question is how much risk RecoN is willing to take with that, because that's definitely the riskier option of the two landmarks.
One of the things that we have seen RecoN do before, I remember he played this style against the Mister in Red Bull Wallalol. He went for the Silver Tree and didn't make a trader for 20 minutes. He just kind of sat on it. And everything that Mister was doing was an attempt to deny any kind of trade. And RecoN just kind of played around it, allowed it, and then eventually he was ready to trade and just started trading and just took over the game. It was kind of wild how it happened. The map was on wetlands, but maybe we could look at something happening like that today.
I could see that being a thing. I think if you go for a Silver Tree here, you force the Chinese player's hand, because suddenly the Chinese player can't just play that eco-focused boomy game. Whereas if you go for Deer Stones, the Chinese player will likely be like, okay, I can go Song Dynasty, and if there is no aggression, just second TC. Now, and there it is, Silver Tree coming in here from RecoN. Remains to be seen if he actually will trade, or this is just kind of, as I said, the deception element. But this is definitely going to be the driving force behind his game plan for quite a while, and it's going to be interesting to see how Magic reacts to it.
I like the use of the Silver Tree here. It makes a lot of sense. The main issue that you're going to have is, like, how do you possibly trade? Like, can we take a look at the trading post over on that northwestern edge of the map? There's a whole bunch of resources that spawn around that trading post. You should be able to get a wall up here if you're Magic. But then this one on the south, you've got the relic to deal with. Well, you should probably be able to get walls up, yeah, on everything. So it seems really easy to kind of deny trade on this map. I don't know, maybe I'm overthinking it, but...
Yeah, I can see that being a thing. I think, as I said, it's going to come down to what Magic does exactly to try and prevent that trade. Because right now, this is quote-unquote no investment for RecoN to do this. And if he can force a significant investment from Magic when it comes to villager time, when it comes to actually paying for those walls and all those things, it might actually be worthwhile already, even if he doesn't actually get any traders out. So I think it's more about forcing the issue with the Chinese and forcing them to make some sort of reaction.
Yeah, I think that's a good call. Because typically as the Chinese... I mean, in this situation here, it's going to be imperative that you look to get your Song Dynasty up. That you look to try and... Hold on a minute. We've got a scout coming out here. Is he going professional scouts? Is that the direction that he's thinking? Or what's the plan here? Why would he be going for a scout opening? Barracks going to get dropped down.
Could be.
That was a rushed up barracks as well.
That's actually awkward. He actually started killing the deer back at home. That was with the con. I'm not sure what the purpose of that was at this point. But yeah, it's just one scout for the time being. Seems like he just wants info, and he didn't even end up killing the whole patch. So it's definitely not for pro scouts. This is mostly just for information. What's the plan here?
I've got no idea what's going on right now. It's like, it's all just question marks for me. I don't, I've got no clue where they're going or what they're doing, but Spearmen making their way around. Archery range is up now, so is he looking for Mangonite? No, it's just going to be the normal archer.
It's something different. I think the idea here was, with the second scout, is that he wants to have vision on both sides. He wanted to see where the reaction is coming from, and he spots the Spearmen to the north, and he's sending the traders to the south. Initially, he headed north with the traders, and I think the reason why he needed the second scout is just to make sure he sends the traders in the direction from which the Spearmen aren't coming from.
Makes sense. Makes a lot of sense. But even then, he's able to repel the spears. And look at this, we now start to see walls coming up. But the Mongol player is trading. What does Magic know about RecoN's position? Can we take a look at Magic's perspective?
I'm not even sure if he sees the silver tree. He should anticipate it to a certain extent, but he feels like he's playing way too passive here.
Yeah, this is interesting. And look, take a look who's in the Twitch chat right now. Ladies and gentlemen, we've got a celebrity. It's the Mr. AoE. We mentioned him a bit earlier on in this game. There he is. We love to see him. Mister, we love you. We miss you. Great to see you here. Hope that you're doing well. Hope the farm is going well.
Uh-oh, this actually is pretty scary over here. Archers diving in. Barbican should go up. Question is the amount of casualties that you will have while doing so. Oh, that's going to be no villagers picked off. At least for the time being, that's the first one going down. And this is really good for RecoN here for the investment that he has made.
Yeah, RecoN having a great time at the moment. It looks like the scout will go down. Barbican does get up successfully. Only one villager taken out, though. So you can't help but feel like RecoN's in an increasingly good position. Now, keep in mind, obviously, playing the Mongols, no access to walls. So not going to be able to stop any units from coming onto that south side. But I don't think he's going to have to worry about it. Magic is gearing up for a potential second town center here.
Yeah, and right now it kind of feels like Magic is either unaware of the trade, or he doesn't care and he feels like a 2TC Chinese boom can beat that. But if it's the latter case, then he's likely wrong. So far we have seen that the trade has a much better return of investment, or a much faster return of investment than the second town center does. You see, that second town center is nowhere close just yet. And obviously the Song Dynasty, while it's there, right now RecoN has a decent eco lead. And those traders are already bringing back the second batch of gold. Survival techniques now coming in for RecoN, so it's gonna have a great food eco. And when those traders deliver the first batch of gold, it's actually... Wait a second. Those are supposed to be bringing gold back.
They are,
Did he actually misclick them?
No. He's bringing them back because he's going to be giving the home... Wait.
Yeah.
Crackety says that RecoN deleted the gold. No, I'm pretty sure that when he unpacks the silver tree, the gold will reappear.
I don't think so. I don't think that's how it works. I think he actually accidentally canceled it. Yeah, he canceled it. Or he didn't. That's a bug. That's actually a pretty bad bug, because visually, you can't see them carrying the gold.
Oh yeah, no, that's a bug that's been around for a while. So this is one of those bugs that's just a casual 1200 gold coming in right there. Yeah, so this happens if you garrison a trader and ungarrison the trader. It will also lose its visual indicator. So there's no way. This is part of the thing I was telling the devs. It's like, hey, we need a way to distinguish whether a trader is carrying gold or not. If only there was a way, because because when it bugs, it just doesn't. It's not good.
I really dislike how little information Magic has. He actually lost his scout and never decided to rebuild it. He's playing completely blind. At this point, I wouldn't even be surprised to learn if he didn't know about the trade. Because I don't think that he saw the landmark specifically, and he has had zero vision on the opposing side for quite a while. And you see the result. This is why I said that the ROI, the return of investment on that silver tree and the trade, is much faster than what you get from the second TC. RecoN is heading to Castle Age with a functional trade. He's actually going to opt for the step redoubt, so he's going to have a fallback option should he lose the trade. And he's going to have a gigantic lead over IamMagic going into minute 10 or so.
Yeah, this is exactly where he wants to be. And I like the fact that he's going into the step redoubt. The step redoubt basically says, hey, I might lose my trade at some point. And if that happens, so be it. But if it does, I will just fall back onto the step redoubt. So very smart move there from him. to fall back onto that. Because the coral tie, it's nice, but it's not necessary. You can beat your enemy without the coral tie, just as long as you're maintaining everything that you should be doing.
Yeah. And if you consider the other element of this, what is Magic doing right now? He's booming. You're also booming. So you actually get more benefit from the step readout, quite frankly, because if you ever need to, for whatever reason, balance your eco, because let's say your traders are idled for some time, you can easily shit villagers in there and you have a pretty functional gold economy. So yeah, that's a great fallback option. Great way to adjust your economy to balance it a little bit. Have some consistent gold income while the traders aren't actually bringing anything in, because don't forget, traders, they bring in a lot of gold, but it comes in one large batch rather than a small trickle like what the gold miners provide.
Yeah, we saw, what was it, 1,200 gold coming in the blink of an eye with those last traders. So yeah, it's one of those things where it's, yeah, you definitely want to try and make sure that you've got a little bit of supplemental gold income, but it does get spotted out now by Magic. Now, RecoN could also look to work the center. That could be an option for him. No villagers present there, but you could very quickly get a chop through if he looks to go for an improved forestry.
Yep.
You've got all these walls coming up right now for Magic, but he could just bypass them completely.
Yeah, Magic now sees the trade going on. The problem is that he does so quite late, and now you see there is already a defensive outpost over here, so it's going to be difficult to aggress this position. Springald should come out very soon for that. And now we're looking at Castle Age with Lancers coming in for RecoN, and if you look at Magic, he's kind of caught in between two pretty horrible scenarios right now. If he doesn't commit more to Feudal Age, then RecoN is going to have an untouched trade. If he does, he's never going to get to Castle.
Yeah, really good point. Lancers on the top side, though. Fortunately, they've been walled out completely, so Magic's going to be able to survive a little bit longer. Remember, he's got the 2TC Song, and that's going to help him scale, but the problem is your enemy has got trade, and it's a lot of trade. These are huge amounts of resources that we're talking about getting delivered in. And yeah, the trade numbers are starting to build. All right. More traders adding in. How many traders are we up to? I think we must be up to 10 traders at this point. Let's take a look at RecoN's perspective. We'll ride on board and check over on his market.
Yep. It's only 7 traders actually. It's not much, but it's honest work.
Yeah, it's kind of wild that it's only 7 traders, but it still just makes such a crazy difference, right? Like, it's, yeah.
I think he respected Magic too much. I think he didn't commit to more traders because he thought his trade was going to get shut down. He went for a step right out as a fallback option. I think if he knew that Magic is going to commit so little to contest a trade, he could have gone for 20 traders because it's not like you were going to get punished anyways.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, the response could have always changed from Magic perspective, but I mean, he's gone for very heavy walls here. Yes. And so the natural thing in that situation is just to go very heavy on the trade. But looks like over on the south side, we do see an attack coming through. Clock tower does get up. Looks like RecoN might be breaking through the walls ever so slowly on that east side of the Chinese base.
Yeah, now don't sleep on the... Oh yeah, go ahead.
No.
Don't sleep on the ability of the Chinese to build up an army really fast. We talked about this. So you could have 20 palace guards in 2 minutes time here if you're Magic. And as you said, chopping through the middle is still an option. So for Magic, this is still acceptable because that 20 villager lead that he has, or 20 eco lead that he has, at least partly offsets the trade that he doesn't have.
Yeah, it's a really good point. I'm curious if he's going to look to try and exploit this central location, this central wood wall, if you could say. So Broadaxe coming through. He's looking to pick up some more upgrades, but we don't see improved forestry or forestry even picked up just yet for RecoN. The rewall comes through on the top side. The numbers looking good though. Honestly, the way that RecoN's building at the moment is looking very solid. He's up a significant amount of military as well.
Yeah.
Slowly working it through. But once these knights break through, it's going to be tough for a defense from Magic. He's got a lot of spears, but that's it. And spears are easily going to be run around.
What I love about RecoN's position right now is that he's really using the fact that Magic is playing very defensive to gain map control. Like, he's exposing both walls, kind of keeping Magic back at home, always on the defensive. And while doing so, he's securing the relics, he's securing the sacred sites, keeps his trade functional, and just trying to make sure that that Chinese 2TC boom never really prevails over his trade-based economy.
Well, we've now got the Lancers making their way through. He's looking for any villagers he can find. He runs into a single spearman. That's not what he wants. That's what he wants, those villagers. And look at that, exposed and now towards the top side as well. More and more units coming through. Villagers going to be going down very quickly. He's taken out 10 so far. 11, 12. It keeps rising, rising and rising. Now the Lance is moving on to greener pastures. Lidakor, this is tough.
Yeah, this is tough. I love the patience from him. He popped out 15 Lancers. So many times you see players diving with 2 Lancers and they just get massacred. He waited. He was actually very patient here. Waited until he has 15. And now it's very difficult for Magic to deal with them because he can just use small groups of Lancers and still do a lot of damage with them.
Yeah. At the same time, I mean, Magic's got the 2 TC, so he can potentially scale on that front. The numbers here still aren't looking bad. He only lost, I think, about 10 villagers in that little section.
Well,
so nothing too crazy.
The bottom left says otherwise. It's 18 eco killed already by RecoN, and it's almost a dead even villager count, which if you account for the fact that there is still a functional Mongol trade going on, plus relics, plus sacred sites, that's starting to get rather worrisome actually for Magic.
Yeah, that's true actually. Yeah, there's a lot of potential out here. I'm curious how many traders RecoN's sitting on at the moment, because he's got that extra little bonus coming through. Could be as little as 7, but hold on a minute. I was going to say we got ourselves a push coming out up to 16 traders, is it? Yeah, 16 traders. Some big numbers coming up for RecoN.
He should go as greedy as he can, I think. He knows fully well that Magic is on the back foot right now, and it's a slow-moving army for Magic, so as long as both sides are open, Magic can't move out of his base, so RecoN can get away with whatever greed he wants to.
Yeah, definitely makes sense. Lancer numbers slowly building. Is up to 20 Lancers against 18 spears of his opponent, and look how close they are to chopping through this center. I don't know whether it's intentional, but Magic needs to start being a little bit worried. I don't think RecoN realizes how close he is as well. And I'm sure if he did, he'd probably start working his way through a little bit faster. Still got a good little presence up on this north side. Really just keeping his opponent on multiple fronts ready. There's the town center.
I love it.
Does he look to push this through? I don't think either player realizes right now that they're so close to each other.
Exactly. But I think the key thing is that the closest thing that you can get to a keep in the settings you're playing in the first round here is that town center, essentially. It's just going to be raw firepower. And it's not like Magic has much siege to take it down with. So that could be the first step to deny the wood income from Magic, which combined with this aggression could be fatal.
Yeah, this aggression's looking pretty solid, but keep in mind the extra 2 nest of bees here for Magic should be decent to hold. There's nothing to really challenge this. The choke points are going to be way too strong to even potentially look at trying to flank these with knights. I do like the opportunity that presents itself for RecoN to penetrate through from a third angle here and look to try and take out a couple more villagers from the base of Magic. He is able to repel the knights for the moment.
Nice posturing out here for RecoN. Now he's getting a lot of blacksmith upgrades in here, so he's getting ready for a push. Also boosting his economy even more, so those are costly Jiku upgrades, both for the food, gold, and wood gathering. And now with the tower up, he's actually closer than what he would think he is to his opponent. And if that ever opens, it could be disaster for Magic. Just a couple of Lancers here could wreak havoc.
Yeah, he's so close to it right now. Jeez, you really feel like I'm on the edge of my seat right now watching these guys go at it. Just a handful of archers is all he needs to push back those spears. But the numbers here for Magic, they keep rising. He's up to 30 spears. Now looking to break through this wall at the north. Let's take a look at the wood wall and see how it's going. It looks like it's still yet to be broken through. But I'm sure as soon as we get line of sight, there we go. Spearmen, not a whole lot of them here. Crossbow's now starting to get mixed in as well. Jeez, these guys must be so close. Surely they can see each other through here now. At least RecoN should be able to see Magic.
Now, this is the scary detail for RecoN. He's got cavalry and archers. With good micro, if Magic can get those volleys out from the nest of bees and protect them with the spearmen, this is actually a challenging combination to fight for RecoN. He didn't see the nest of bees correctly. Those are hidden right now, and that's kind of the hidden element that Magic has to surprise him with. Still, though, he needs to find a way to make sure he isn't going to get flanked.
Yeah, that's exactly it. Now he's coming through. And we do see, it looks like he's going to be cleaned up. Oh, jeez, he's so careful just to be oh, he's playing with fire right now. Those spears are intent on taking out all of these all of these lancers. Archer numbers starting to stack up, though, looking a little bit better. And look at the lancers moving around over on that west side. Oh. I mean, right now, we've got spears just looking to do a bit of a run by. They're going to be successful here. Hold on a minute, Magic. Don't get confused, my friend. You've got yourselves a bit of a fight, but have a look. We've got units that are looping around over towards that wood line. We'll head back to the wood wall shortly because this battle matters nothing compared to what is about to happen in the center of the map. Let's take a look and see at that town center exactly what's happening. There they are, all of the units beginning to make their way towards that town center. We've got a little bit of a cleanup down here on the aisle, but there come the units rallying across. Magic with the melee composition up against his ranged counterpart over on the other side. Lidakor, how's it going to go? That's going to be the big question. And look at the outpost getting thrown down. No opportunity for a keep. Nest of bees moving forward. There's not a lot here to protect them, but villagers should be able to fall back and prevent that pathing. But look at the villager block. Beautiful stuff right there. He's going to need to fall back on Springles. And we see the first one already out from RecoN.
Yeah, that's a beautiful positioning for the Nest of Bees, and it's holding off this assault that RecoN had so much hope in. Nest of Bees, just a lovely position. There's the first Springboard, that's the first shot out, and the Lancers, they'll just jump on the villagers.
Yeah, this is looking good. Oh my lord, look at the Lancers up towards that northern position. Magic losing villagers so damn quickly. He's up to 37 villagers lost already. This is huge damage coming in right now. RecoN looking to try and clinch this win and move through to the next round. Nest of Bees moving forward. Look how intent they are on taking out absolutely everything and getting some huge shots from the top rope down on those archers. Huge damage coming through, but is it going to be enough? We've got some holding positions. Spears back there. Villagers going to get pulled on towards those Nest of Bees. Another Nest of Bees coming in from the back line, trying their best to hold it through. And then this Springald's just doing absolute work. Wonderful micro coming out from RecoN. It has been the highlight of today. The micro of RecoN has been absolutely perfect. And look at that villager count. We're talking 69 villagers for Magic against 95 of RecoN. That is not nice.
There were some lovely volleys from those Nest of Bees on the archers, but at the end of the day, it wasn't worth it. All the Nest of Bees are now gone, so RecoN can start diving deeper with the archers, pick off the spearmen, keep the Lancers alive. And while doing so, he's just shrinking and shrinking the accessible amount of wood for Magic. And it's getting increasingly difficult for Magic to hold this position. It's 145 population against just 90. A couple of stragglers over here doing a great job intercepting the traders. But the importance, or the important part of the map, has shifted to the middle now as units are flooding in from RecoN to just devastate the base of Magic.
Yeah, he's going to get ranged units over here on top of these villagers, and this to me is what spoils good game, because he's going to be losing access to this wood. So many villagers over here, he's going to have run for it. But I tell you what, this is such a hard position to fight back from. Look at the villager difference. We're talking 40 villagers of difference between these two guys. That's not a position you want to be when you're playing as China. You want to be 40 vills up. You don't want to be 40 vills down. So it's a net vill loss of close to 80. Take a look at that. 61 villagers lost so far this game for Magic.
Yeah, he's down to just 83 population, and now the Mongols are just flooding through the middle. And don't forget, every single building that they set on fire is going to give them bounty as well. So now there's a lot of resources to be gained that way as well for RecoN. Obviously, he can't drop a forward keep. He never could do that with the Mongols, but even if he was other civilizations, these settings that we run over here wouldn't allow for it. But it doesn't matter because it's just raw brute force power. And you love to see the 5 Springles added there. He knows fully well that Magic needs some miraculous shots with Nest of Bees to turn this around.
Yeah, that's exactly it. The only way he's really getting back into this is, through Nest of Bees off the top rope. Other than that, there's nothing else really he can do. He's down way too many villagers. The military difference is huge. You're talking about a total military difference of close to 40 population at this point. And the Trebs are out. They begin shelling down the production buildings of his enemy. And look at the traders. Look at the number of traders we've got here right now. A convoy making their way back towards the market.
Yeah, RecoN is actually... RecoN is lucky that he's doing as much damage as he's doing in the opponent's base, because his traders have been torn to shreds in the last couple of minutes. So it definitely wasn't a good time for those traders, but they finally do clean up this raiding party, and the next batch of gold from the traders should be enough to finish the game here for RecoN. And now for Magic, lack of access to it is a concern, losing the production buildings even more so, but probably the biggest problem is losing 61 eco in this game. He's down to just 68 economy.
Yeah, it's not a good spot to be. And we've got a huge difference. Take a look at the population difference. 97 population for Magic versus 198 for RecoN. Now 200 population. So more than double the population here for RecoN. He is in a commanding lead. And it feels like only a matter of time until these landmarks get wiped out. Or before Magic throws in the towel.
I would love to see the bounty upgrade right now come in for RecoN. I feel like that would just boost him even more. It's not like he needs it, but it would just be another nail in the coffin of Magic in this set. Don't forget, folks, this is a double elimination, so even if Magic loses, he's going to just fall down to the loser's bracket, but right now, that seems like the most likely scenario, as he's outnumbered 2-1 when it comes to overall population.
Yeah. And still a huge siege presence that you're going to need to overcome here. Look at the amount of units that are out here just sieging things down. And now we've got to start worrying about landmarks. Magic's going to have to start thinking, well, there's a landmark victory on the cards here. The first landmark about to go down here. It's going to be the astronomical clock tower as the Trebs begin moving through as well. Nesta B's looking to try and make a connection on the top rope. Not going to be happening though. Nothing exciting at all. It's only on spears. You're going to need more than one Nesta Beast to go for anything crazy.
It's so difficult for Magic to get any volleys out there because all the attention from RecoN is focused over here. He's never looking away from this screen because he has no reason to. So surprising him with a volley from those Nest of Bees feels like it's an impossible task for Magic right now.
Definitely very true. Yeah. It's how do you do it?
And
He's just going to be watching 100%. Hello.
Yeah, there's the Kaganet Palace.
Imperial Ages through. RecoN begins a new age. And Magic makes one last stand as landmark victory approaches. Spears going mono on mono against their spearman counterpart. At the same time, the archers and crossbows helping out a little bit, but it's not going to matter. There's so much damn siege in here. So many units continue flooding through. Even if he loses the battle, the war has no chance at winning. There's just too much economy behind this. He's able to hold on a little bit longer. Might need to fall back away from this position. Magic is trying to pull off a miracle. Hold on a minute.
It just comes too little too late, especially with this flanking force coming in here, denying the gold mine as well. Magic is barely holding on. It's still a 2-1 army numbers advantage for RecoN, and he's yet to get the Imperial Age upgrades. So, yeah, even if you somehow miraculously hold on here for Magic, it's just too little too late. You see, there's the next wave coming in, and it is going to be the Elite Palace Guards coming out from the Kaganet Palace. Brand new change. And it is where Magic throws in the towel, seeing the Palace Guards coming in from the Mongols.
Damn. It could have been the Hui Hui Pow, but unfortunately, not today. Well played there by RecoN, and just really demonstrating his strength once again on the Mongols. They've been looking good all day. We've seen some beautiful micro coming out from him, but at the same time, really well played by Magic. Unfortunately, just wasn't his day, and he'll drop down to the lower brackets now.
Indeed, RecoN with the strong showing, really showing how you can punish the Chinese eco with the Mongol trade. And I think this is partly the story of today. We have seen multiple games where the Mongols were able to force the Chinese to make a move by just going for the trade, saying, okay, you can try to boom on those two town centers, but if you forfeit map control, I will beat you with my trade. And that seems to be a pretty good way of punishing greedy Chinese players so far.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. I've played against this numerous times, and it's not fun to play against as China because you feel locked in a cage, and you know that outside there's somebody who's just getting so much bigger and stronger than you. So it's really, really difficult for you to come back from.
And with that, we have the 8 players in the quarterfinals for tomorrow. There is, of course, the losers bracket going on as well. But tomorrow's main highlight is going to be the quarterfinals. B will face off Linok. Beastie will be playing against the Vortex. It's going to be brother versus brother in the third quarterfinals, Puppy versus Vam. And last but not least, Lucifron will battle it out against RecoN. The order of these sets is not set just yet. And of course, we will also be having some losers bracket rounds as well tomorrow.